Are you an entrepreneur or business owner who is drowning in emails and voicemails and scheduling requests and all kinds of other administrative work? Look, I was exactly where you are 6 years ago. I had multiple businesses that I was running and I was juggling all of the admin tasks when what I really wanted to be doing was the business growth activities, meeting with people, developing partnerships and relationships, negotiating big deals, and handling all the stuff that I really got into business to do. And that's when I so accidentally discovered hiring a virtual assistant. It completely changed my life and my business. 6 years later, my team and I have helped over 3,500 entrepreneurs hire virtual assistants, scale their business, increase profit, and get their time back. And if that's what you want, then on this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what a virtual assistant is, why it's such a good idea to hire one, starting with an executive assistant, how to do it, and I'm going to share the top 3 pitfalls. Let's dive right in. All right, first and foremost, go ahead and click the link down below to download my Ultimate Executive Assistant Hiring Guide. It's packed with tips, strategies, tricks, key performance indicators, a sample 90-day plan, and even a daily schedule so that you can see exactly how to not only hire your executive assistant, but how to make sure that that position produces an amazing return on investment for you and gives you your time back. All right, so let's talk about first and foremost why you need an executive assistant as your first hire. All right, look, if you're doing low-level tasks as an entrepreneur or business owner, like emailing, scheduling, calendars, booking your own appointments, and all kinds of other administrative work, you are missing out on spending time on the stuff that can actually help you grow your business. If you want to talk in terms of economics, there was a concept I learned about in business school called opportunity cost. What that is when you choose to do one thing, you are giving up or sacrificing doing something else. So in this case, every time you check your email throughout the day or set up a calendar invite or work on scheduling someone into your appointments, you are foregoing the high-level, high-leverage tasks you should be doing as an entrepreneur or business owner, like growing your business, going on meetings and appointments with people to grow your business and develop relationships, lead generate or prospect, if you will, and also to create big things in your business or just spend more time away from your business. So that is the reason that we want to add leverage into our business as soon as possible. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. If we're just meeting, my name is Danny, and this is a newer YouTube channel helping you scale your business with systems, automations, leverage with virtual assistants, and all kinds of other stuff related to that. So if you could do me a quick favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're getting value so that YouTube shows this to more people and I can spread the message. Now back to the video. Now, of course, the big question is, how do you do it? How do you make this happen for yourself? And how do you do it efficiently, especially early on? If you're an early entrepreneur or business owner and you maybe don't have all the funds to hire someone, that creates a problem for you. And I've been in your shoes before. When I ran businesses that were local, where I had people present, I had employees, it's expensive and you're responsible for that big salary. So let me give you your options. Number one, of course, you could hire someone local that's going to come into your office and work there with you. Now, if you're watching this and you're in the United States, then that's going to cost you a lot of money. Depending on where you are, I used to live in Southern California, very expensive labor market. Now I live in Dallas, also somewhat expensive. Probably going to cost you somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 to bring someone in-house. That's expensive, and that's probably just their salary. Then you have taxes on top of that, benefits, time off, training time that you have to bring them in, train them, show them what's going on. And then if they leave, you have to retrain, you got to hire someone else and all that kind of stuff. So that's very expensive. Now, there are times when you may need someone that's physically present. Let's say you're a realtor and you want someone to go show homes for you. You want someone to go to inspections, or let's say you have a business where you actually need someone to be in the office to, maybe greet guests or things like that. Then you may need someone in the office to do that. However, I will tell you that there are ways to hire a very low-level person physically in the office while you have virtual staff doing all of the other tasks. We can save that and talk about it for another video, but there are times when you do need that. Number 2 option, of course, is hiring a virtual assistant that is in the United States. If you're watching this from the US, that's probably going to cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 an hour or so. Now, that is an option if you need someone to do high-level tasks that a virtual assistant offshore cannot do. I'm going to give you an example of that. So when we have appointments that are set for our closers in our business, typically those closers are US-based folks, but we do pay them a heavy commission, and so it's not as much on the base side. Now, when you talk about everything else, including your executive assistant, then the best option for that is to hire offshore. And what an offshore virtual assistant is someone that works in another country. In our case, at All Star VAs, we specialize in working with virtual assistants, or VAs, as you could call them, from the Philippines. And we found that to be a very, very cost-efficient and also effective way to do it. In that case, that's going to cost you anywhere between $4 and $8 an hour. So when you do the math, if you were to hire someone locally, right, and pay them $50,000, $60,000, you could probably get 5 staff members in the Philippines, an executive assistant, and an entire team of other VAs to fill all the roles you might need, such as social media manager, marketing manager, maybe inside salesperson, and maybe even a customer service representative, for that same $5,000 a month that you would spend on one person here. So who is this person? What do they do? Well, what we've found is that in the Philippines, these are folks that come from corporate jobs previously. They want to work at home. They like working the, I would call it the flipped schedule because of the time difference. They do work our time zone. And believe it or not, for them, that same money, that $4 to $8 an hour, is an amazing living wage in the Philippines. So when you do that, what you're doing is you're creating leverage for yourself. You're adding an employee that can help you scale your business, take away all of that administrative headache, the emails, the phone calls, the voicemails, the scheduling, the administrative work. They could take all of that off your plate so that you can really focus on growing your business. Now, some of the other things that they can do for you are things like personal items. They can schedule your grocery deliveries. They can set up your dry cleaners. They can set up date nights for you. It's actually something that I need to start using. I don't take advantage of that enough. But they can really run not only your business, but also your life. Hey, all right, so if you're watching this and thinking, okay, I'm ready to hire a virtual assistant, I want to invite you to click the link down in the description, go to allstarvas.com and book a demo call. We will show you exactly how we can help you scale your business, increase profit, and get your time back with an amazing virtual assistant and system from All Star VAs. And that leads me to the top mistakes that people make when hiring virtual assistants. And I want to run through those with you now. The first one is hiring any position other than an executive assistant first. The executive assistant should really be your first VA hire. And the reason for that is that the executive assistant is going to run the show for everything else. They're going to manage all of your other VAs. And the reason that it's a mistake not to do that first is if you start hiring other positions, before you know it, let's say you have 4 or 5 VAs and you're the one that's managing all of them. That is not what you want. You want your executive assistant to manage all of those VAs for you. The second mistake I see people making when they hire VAs is to do it on their own. Now, we did this initially. So 6 years ago when we hired our first virtual assistant, we did it on our own. And it worked out, luckily. But if you start hiring VAs on your own and staffing, what have you now become? You've become a staffing company, and that's not what you want because you're an entrepreneur or business owner. You're trying to do this to save time. You don't want to add extra work on top of working with your VAs. So don't go at it alone. A company like All Star VAs can help you with the staffing and the coaching and the training, the oversight, replacement if someone gets sick or goes away or what that might be. And the cost is so minimal and so effective that it really makes sense to do that. The third mistake I see people making when they hire VAs is they go out and they want to hire someone called an inside salesperson to blow up their business and set appointments for them. They think that an ISA is the magic bullet. Well, I'm here to tell you that in order to hire an inside salesperson, the first thing you need is you need inbound leads. So no matter what business you're in, real estate or maybe an online coach or consultant or even a doctor, physician, we have a lot of clients who are that. You need inbound leads. And so to do that, you either need to have a marketing engine or a content system or things that are producing those leads first, and then you can hire an inside salesperson to set appointments for you. Speaking of inside salesperson, you always want to hire those in multiples. So either you hire 2 right away, 3 right away, 1 or 2 may not work out, and then you're left with 1 or 2 very good ones. And so those are the 3 most common mistakes I've seen in my 6 years of hiring virtual assistants. And by the way, if you're now convinced that you need a virtual assistant, watch this video for a step-by-step guide on how to hire one.